Hey guys, it's Emily and I'm doing an extremely late February plan with me. At this point it's more like how I planned February because as you can tell by how it's March, it's just a tad bit late. But I asked y'all on a Instagram poll if you wanted to see my March plan with me first or if you wanted me to finish my February plan with me first. And the majority of you guys said that you wanted to see February first, so that's what we're running with. So I decided to set up my February intro page by doing a little bit of artsy stuff. Honestly, I don't really know if I consider myself that great of an artist. I feel like I'm pretty mediocre, but you know what? Mediocre is good enough to get the job done. And plus, I had a pretty good time doing this, so that's all that matters, right? So far I've been using a bunch of Crayola supertips to draw this desert scene, and this was inspired by a trip to Joshua Tree that I took at the beginning of February, and I just thought it was super pretty and I wanted to commemorate the experience by putting it in my bullet journal. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Honestly, I didn't really know how I was going to go about this, but I just jumped right into it. And I feel like that's kind of the best way to go about it with bullet journaling. Like, at least for me, that's kind of how I started. Like, I really didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try something. I'm gonna throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And I think really this is great because it's practice that matters a lot when you're trying to get better at a new skill. So yeah. Oh boy, a bunch of that just got colored in rapidly without us seeing it, so I'm guessing that footage got lost, but I mean, it's cool. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just continuing to add more detail and depth to the picture by using various colors of Crayola super tips. And yeah, I'm just gonna let the music play out while I do this time lapse. New brush pen, who this? Well anyway, that is a Tombow dual brush pen, not as Crayola super tip as I've been using this whole time. So yeah, I just wanted to introduce that. Also, I definitely wrote February a little bit too much to the right side, so I just fixed that by adding birds, as one does. Oh yeah, and the pen that I used for that was a tombow fudenosuke in the hard tip, and now I'm just using a white sakura jelly roll to add some detailing to the lettering. So now I'm setting up my calendar page by first writing out the word February with a Crayola super tip, and then outlining that with a tombow fudenosuke with the hard tip. And I did this effect, the same effect that I did in January, where I outlined the letters, but I pretend that I'm scooting over the outline a little bit to the right, so that it just gives the words a little more dimension. That's a lettering effect that I really like to do. And then now I'm going to draw in the grid, and I'm freehanding it because I'm hoping that'll give it an artsy vibe, but I don't know. And then I wrote out the days of the week using the tombow fudenosuke. And finally, not finally yet, but I wrote out some categories of things that I like to keep track of each month, which is music that I liked, some goals, YouTube video ideas, and what I want to keep in mind for next month. And then I just wrote in the numbers for the days of the month. Oh yeah, and then I wrote in some of the events and things that I could already fill out for that month. Okay, a little bit of a lighting and angle change, but I decided to try making a brain dump page after being inspired by Amanda Rach Lee. She's like honestly one of my biggest inspirations. And then here, I'm gonna show the world that I mess up, and I mess up pretty often. But you know, that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes it just be like that. So the way that I decided to fix this, because I didn't really like how the word looked, was that I tore off a piece of brown paper from a brown paper bag, and then I wrote over it using a sakura jelly roll. So yeah, I made myself a brain dump page. And then I started making myself a wellness page. I feel like in January I started, I should have been taking much more care of my mental health, but I kind of let it fall by the wayside. So in February, I decided that I was going to fix it by, or at least make it better by doing a wellness page. So I wrote out some things that I wanted to incorporate into my life. And overall, I just wanted to promote better mental health because I think that's something very important. So then I outlined all of my kind of wellness goals in a Crayola super tip. And then the next page I made is titled When I'm 19, and I just wrote down a bunch of things that I wanted to do, like a bunch of goals for when I was 19, and I turned 19 that month, so that's why it made sense. But I didn't show those because some of them were a little bit personal. Oh, and the purple pen that I used, or the purple brush pen that I used, is a Tombow dual brush pen. And I used that same one just now to write February. And this is basically just me showing another weekly page. This is kind of how I set up my weekly pages. I usually do it at the beginning of each week, like on a Sunday. Also, the first week of February was just really hectic for me, so I did not end up doing the first week. And that's why I started on Saturday, which seems kind of random. But sometimes it be like that, and that's why having the flexibility of a bullet journal is nice. Well, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, maybe hit the bell button if you feel so inclined. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.